Greetings. In this video, I'm going to show you how to work with fonts in Google Slides. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do in working in fonts in Google Slides is obviously I'm going to create a Google slide. So to do that, I click on New, Google Slides. And it preloads it here with the template already that I can choose templates here, and I can select one that Google has, and I also have another video that shows you how to download and use templates from online. And Google has already populated it so that I could have a title and I can have a subtitle for my presentation. So if I click in title, we'll call this How to Do Fonts. And I'll just make these capital so it looks a little more better. So it looks a little more professional. How to do fonts, a CTE teach tutorial. There we go. And there's obviously different types of slides we can do. This one, I just did a normal title, subtitle, and then I can continue on. If I want to add a new slide, I can do that. And it's going to give me the titles up here, subtitle. But I can also right click and then choose apply layout. I can choose title and slide, have a section header, column to the left, column, section title and description. So there's different types of slides I can do with my fonts. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to work with the one that we have. So I'll just go ahead and go back to this original one here. And first thing you can do is you can add in, you want to change the color of it. If you highlight your font here and go up to colors, you can add, the colors that are there. I can do a white and then that kind of a gray here. Maybe say I want to change it to a lighter gray. I can do that. How to do fonts, a CTE teach tutorial. And I can even add custom colors by going here. And hex codes are codes, each color has what's called a hex code. And as you can see, I'm kind of cycling through, and let's say I wanted to do something in the blue area, and let's say I want to choose like this color here. Well, my hex code is this number 3896C9. I can take that and I can copy that and click OK. So now my font has changed to that color. Let's say I wanted to have this colored font match that one exactly. I can go click on text color, and actually what Google has already done is they've already put it, since you made a custom color, they've already set it in your toolbar here. But let's say it wasn't there. What I can do is I could paste that number in there. And then a good idea that I have is when I am working with colors and different colors and codes, I usually will write down the color of the codes on a post-it note in front of me so that later on I know, which ones they all are. So I click OK. And it didn't do it because I already have that font listed. So there we go. So there we go. So that's the color. The color's there. And let's say I wanted to highlight this. The way I would do that is just go ahead and click on my highlight color, and I can choose, like a yellow, and it will highlight just that one there. But I'm going to undo that, make it transparent again. And a couple other things I can do with these fonts is I can give them a shadow drop. And what we can do is go to Format Options. And there's a few things you can do with your fonts. And you can also do this with images as well. But we're going to show you on fonts. And you can do a reflection of it. So you can see, let me kind of move this one down. So it's reflecting that. Makes it look like, it's above water. And I can even work with this reflection. And I can make it so it's not as far. I can move it so that it's just right below it. And I can change it with the size, there. Make it so it's more visible, like that. And I can also do, and this one I use mostly, is you can drop a shadow on it, like that. And it makes it look a little bit like it's popping out a little bit better. And you can even change it to where it's, less transparent or more transparent. You can change the angle of that shadow. It's on the top or on the bottom. You can make it so that it's further away, like that. Obviously, most people do like kind of right behind it. and you can blur it out, make it a little bit more blurry or less blurry. So that's shadow dropping. You can change the color of it. Let's say I didn't want to do black. I can do like a dark blue. And it's hard to see here, but it's got more of a dark blue shadow behind it. I'm going to go ahead and take that shadow off. And typically when you're typing, I'm going to go to this next slide. How to do fonts. And I'm going to type my text in here. Fonts are a great way to demonstrate information that you are providing to your students. Fonts can add personality and character to the information and are used in an appealing way to make the information more engaging. All right, nice little paragraph there. And so, as we already demonstrated, I can change the color of that. I can turn it to black. I can turn it to gray. But one thing I want to take note of is sometimes the spacing of these are funky. And so, let's say I wanted to make this a bullet. What I can do is just click on the bullet there. Now it becomes the bullet. I'm going to take my bullet off and just click it again. If I want to number it, I would number it there, and if I hit enter, it'll make the next number for me. And you can even this is great information. You can even change the bullets and the numbers. If you click on the number, you can change the color of just those bullets. Green, that's hard to see. Let's do a purple there. You can even change it to a red, like that. And so this is a great way to really start numbering out your information. Me personally, what I like to do is if I hit enter, it'll make that number 2, but if I hit backspace, it will make a space, and then that way they're not so close together like they were. Let me kind of go back. So, other things you can do, let me take the numbering system off. As you can see, it kind of bulleted just that, and backspace. Other things you can do is you can work with the spacing of your fonts. And so if you click on line spacing, this is single spaced there. This is 1.1 1.25, essentially 1.5, and then double spaced. But you can also customize this. Let's say you want it to be closer together, not necessarily double spaced, but not necessarily single spaced. You want to kind of bring them together. I typically do custom spacing. I choose usually between 0.7 or 0.8, but this one I'm going to do at 0.7. And you can see it really kind of pushes that together there. I'll change that to like a 0.8. And typically if I'm doing some sort of like titles or whatnot, this might be what I do to kind of bring that together. But we'll go back to do just single spacing there, since this is a paragraph. Another thing you can do is you can actually you can change the fonts. So right now this was a typical Arial font. There are different ones I can choose. I can choose to do like a Rye font, which when I did a training on with a circus theme, Bangers is more of a comic booky looking font. And let's see, Roboto, that one there. And as you guys are looking at this, you're thinking to yourselves, well, I don't have all those fonts in my Google slide. Well, I'm so glad you asked that, because I'm going to show you how to do that. So what you do is you go to more, if you click on your fonts, click on more fonts, and then Google has a huge list of fonts you can add to your Google slide presentation. All you got to do is just click, let's say I want to use this one that says Great Vibes. I'll click on that. I want to add that one. I'm going to add this one. It's called Monotone. And let's do this one. It's cool, video game font. And I click on the ones that I want. And of course, you probably go through and click all of them. But if you don't want to be overwhelmed, you can certainly just do that. And then I go ahead and click OK. Now those fonts have been added to my list of fonts. So here's the press start 2-player one. That's that there. And here is, what was the other one I added? Monotone. Where are you at? Monotone. There we go. One's a little bit harder to read. And what you might notice on some of these fonts as well is there's little drop down arrows, and what that means is you can, like my Cinzel one, you can choose normal, bold, or black. And some of these have really diverse things: extra light, light, normal, medium, semi-bold. Semi-bold I like to use a lot as well. I'll kind of show you what the light version of that looks like. So it's the same font, it just isn't as thick. And say I wanted to choose it to be extra bold. That's what it would look like there. I'm going to copy this so you guys can see the difference. And I'm going to paste it. So there's the bold one, and then it will change this back to the light, so you can kind of see same font, just different thickness in how they're being used. And another thing you can do is you can also bring in text box. You can change the color of this text box. The way I do that is I click here on fill color. Say I wanted this box to be yellow, I can do that. And let's say I wanted to make this font, instead of it being gray, I wanted to make it white. Looks like that. And then if I even wanted to add a border to this text box, I can click here and it'll add a border to it. I did yellow. Let's say I'm going to do like a dark blue. It's kind of hard to see because it's not really thick. Let's do a lighter blue there. And again, it's kind of hard to see, so what I can do is I can actually go in, I can change the thickness of that line. We'll do it like a 4-point. There we go. And I can even make it a different style. I can do dots, or I can do like dots and then a slash, dots and a slash, like that. So all sorts of different ways that you can customize this. I'll just go back to my there, my 1-point, transparent. So so these are just great ways that you can use fonts. And say I want to even change this. I'm going to go with a quicksand font, semi-bold, and there we go. So this is a great way to start using fonts and to set up, multiple diverse fonts in your slide presentation. And that's it. So thank you for watching. Thank you for checking out this tutorial on how to use fonts in Google Slides. Hopefully it was beneficial for you. And don't forget to check out our other great content on our how-to playlist of the CTE Teaching YouTube channel. We have tons of stuff there for educating and for distance learning. And thank you again for watching, and we'll see you again next time.